Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Billy Sue Mayo with Mayo Family Healthcare. I just wanted to go live for several things, and I'll let me get this going here. I think I'd figure this out by now. I'm here to talk about COVID long haulers. Um, and so I guess my point for this whole video, I didn't know where to go with it because, as you all know, let me do some back history here. Like I said, I am the owner of Mayo Family Healthcare. I'm a practitioner. I opened up my clinic in great timing, right? In April 6th, 2020. Got delayed a little bit because of the world got shut down. With that being said, I then ultimately became a resource for patients because they could not get help because the world was shut down, and which was great. I also a long hauler. I'm sure you all know me, whoever knows me, you know the story. I'm not going to go into details of that, but I have been in the medical field since 1994, started in New York as a medical assistant, a little pre-baby nurse, and then moved my way up. And so I've seen a lot of things through all those years and in different areas. And I worked in Florida for 5 years and then been back here since 1999. With that being said, gosh, it's been bothering me of what I've been seeing because everybody seems to not understand COVID long haul. And I do. I mean, I get it. I get it personally, and I get it medically, and I did a lot of research. So I know I did meta-analysis research. I did tons. My nose has been dived in a rabbit hole of research since I had COVID. Because I wanted to understand how I got it, because I was had it before, then I was vaccinated, and then I almost died from it. So, that that got my curiosity going, if you will. So I went on to return back to work. It was very difficult, did that. We're not here to talk about that. But it would be negligent of me as a practitioner to ignore the vast amount and the overwhelming. It's like every time I go into a patient that's long haul, yep, same thing. It's like deja vu every single patient. But I thought about it. This was happening way before, not so much, obviously. And then the devastation part is there's no help or resources for patients that are suffering, and they are suffering. Trust me, I suffered. Yeah, long haul is no joke, and I hope everybody and all you all believe that. But here's my thing. So the reason for this, let me go back. So there's a focus for this. The reason for this video is to open up the conversation. Let's have the conversation. Yeah, what's going on? What do you guys see? B is to make awareness that COVID long haul is there. It's real. It sucks. But also C is I need help. I need help with professionals, pathologists, anybody that can join in, chime in. I have reached out to many different researchers, and I've heard back from some of them, and specialists and doctors, and they're like, yeah, no, gosh, you're onto something here. But what I have done, I have went and took all these patients with all these same symptoms, and I'm not going to go into real big detail, but at the end of the day, what is going on is that COVID is not killing us. It's making us actually aware and opening our eyes to, gosh, we are having, in my opinion, my theory, a viral overload. Every single patient, I have research to back it up, documentation, everything. Every single patient is struggling with brain fog. Everything that Epstein-Barr for the chronic viral syndrome had, right? And we kind of pushed that off. We know you get mono, you have chronic fatigue, you get chronic migraines, yeah, fibromyalgia, right? So we push those patients away, but we know their pain is real. So then it got me thinking the vast amount of all these patients coming to me for help and support, and they're getting they go to a specialist, and that specialist will gaslight them. Nope, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, thank you. But why does my heart go up to 150? Why do I have a migraine every day? Why do I have 3+ pitted edema? Why do I have brain fog? Why can't I function? I used to think that nobody wants to work, but actually I've come to the conclusion that really the reason why we're lacking people, there's for many reasons, but one reason is because they can't. They physically can't. So this is really exciting stuff to me because I of course I tried it on myself as I do with everything, and I researched it and the crap out of it, and I seen a common theme. So I started doing viral loads on people of checking them for Epstein-Barr, herpes, shingles virus. I could go on with all the viral cytomegalovirus virus, and every single one, quote unquote, they call right that had Epstein-Barr, that were fatigued, and their lives were quite ruined. They could not function. They had some vague symptoms, like they just didn't make sense. So I started looking further, and of course, yes, they're all highly over hyperactive, hyper reactive to their immune system, if that makes sense to you, on blood work. And then that got me thinking, why is everybody interesting, and why do they have inflammation markers? Why are is their monocytes or their CBC, if you will? I know some of the stuff you don't understand, but there's things that triggered me to look into this. And then so I dug a little deeper. You know me, I kind of go out there. So I ordered because I knew it's our immune system. Our immune system's broken. It's a viral overload. We've always focused on bacteria, focused on inflammation, focused on this, that, and the other. But I don't know. I even talked to a immunologist today, and he's like, wow, I don't know, you're onto something. If that is what it is, then yeah, no, it is what it is. I have the evidence, I have the patients, I have everything, and I've reached out, and actually I started myself on the medication, and I'm going to go into detail to stop this viral overload of our bodies. And so with that, I started breaking it down, and getting some how our levels of our immune system is working. And just for the length of this video, I have come up with we have T cells. Our T cells are our immune system part of it. There's many of them, but one of them, there's CD4. That's the one that goes in and says, when a virus, you get it, exposed to a virus, it says, hey, it goes and tells 8, this virus right here. And so he recognizes it, and he paralyzes it, or kind of like stalls it, says, hey, stay here. And he goes and tells 8 and says, hey, I found the bad guy. You go get him. That's what he looks like. And so 4's done. 4's job's done. 8 is supposed to go and kill it, right? And kill it. And after he kills it, then our B cells and our other ones, macrophages like Pac-Man, goes and cleans everything up in our bloodstream, right? As it should. And then we get immunity from that. And then if we get exposed to that virus and cold, and doesn't bother us, right? Because we have immunity, we have antibodies, right? So, but what I'm seeing is a overload of, it's a hypersensitive, it's called mast cell overreaction. So, and that's where the POTS syndrome come in, posterior orthostatic tachycardic syndrome comes in, migraines, It's causing vascular inflammation, high blood pressure. Again, everything you can imagine, any symptom could happen. Yes, yes, it will happen with the mast cell. Because if you can imagine, listen, so we have four. He's the one, the guy, and that sees the virus. But you know what? Eight's done. He's like, you know what? I'm overwhelmed because you know why? It's reactivating. COVID has come along and is reactivating all of these old viruses that we have taken care of, have memory and gone, right? We've been exposed to them. Mono, cytomegalovirus by the age of 12. Everybody has been exposed to all of these viruses and their body has dealt with it by the age, we'll say 28. I think research is the latest, is by the average of our body immune system. And fine, we carry on, we move on. COVID comes along and then reactivates these because you know what, how it reactivates it, and I don't have all the answers, but it because four, right, isn't working. I mean, four is working and everything is coming through all these viruses, but eight is overwhelmed because all of our old viruses are coming, because of COVID, are coming up to the surface. So eight is like, I'm done. So we have our four going crazy, mast cell. Eight's, I'm out of here. So our other cells that are cleaned up can't do it. So there's a break in our immune system. Is it permanent? Mm-mm. There's a break. There's also another correlation, which was really interesting. And after I did more research, it makes sense that I can't say every single person, probably about 90% of the people, long haulers or chronic fatiguers or IBS or migraine, fibromyalgia, they all have, from my small study, and it's not that small. It's, anyway, we won't go into details because that's why I'm not here for that. That they are low in vitamin D. What does vitamin D do for us? It is a hormone from the sun that we get. We can't make it on our own. And if you have low vitamin D, you have headaches, migraines, hair loss, insomnia, depression, anxiety, weight gain, body aches, bone pain, muscle pain, joint pain. I mean, I could go on. And frequent infections. It is a part of your immune system, and you are at risk for infection. So the research does show that most of the people that go on to not survive COVID, they are in this mast cell activation, if you will, but they also have low vitamin D because they couldn't fight it off. And if your immune system's down, all these dormant old history viruses that we used to have come up to play. And so four is getting overwhelmed. There's so much four of CD4 of our immune system that eight gives up. And if eight gives up, then the other guys can't clean up. I know I repeat this, but I need you to understand it. So guess what? We are in a viral overload storm, and it will cause inflammation. Anything that you're having, and you don't understand why these chronic things keep happening. And not only we can thank COVID for opening up our eyes for it, but also this is not new news. We knew that Epstein-Barr and these viruses can cause, for about I think 10% of people can have chronic and recurrent, just like a cold sore. Patient comes to me and he has a cold sore or shingles, and I'm like, have you had COVID lately? They're like, oh yeah, I did a couple months ago. Yeah, I haven't been feeling well since then. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do some blood work on you, and sure enough, it's reactivating because of eight, our fighter there is supposed to kill our viruses. He's overwhelmed, and so it's reactivating these old viruses since we were a little kid we've been exposed to. And then could you imagine a long hauler having all of these activated viruses just come all at once? Yeah, Of course you are miserable. Of course you can't work. Of course you hurt. You have a headache, migraine, swelling. And then I send them to specialists. Yep, cardiologist. Nope, there's nothing wrong with you. Oh, okay. So I make, oh, they call it anxiety or they call it, don't know. But it's in their head. But so I can make my heart rate from laying down. This is POT syndrome. I don't have it, but I have patients that suffer from it. Laying down from standing up, their heart rate goes up. They get dizzy, so they could do that on their own. Okay, good. So then I send them to a neurologist, and nothing wrong with them. Okay, so I can just all of a sudden just forget things and not know how to do things and have numbness and neuropathy in my legs and have tremors, and obviously it's affected their life. They know how their body works. The answer is every specialist. It doesn't matter. Every specialist, they don't have an answer. The reason why, because everything looks good on the outside, the paper, this, that, blood results, this looks good, but it's inside. It's neurological. It is then it goes to vascular and it's causing havoc because of mast cell activation. If you imagine that all of these C4s of all these, because our job is to warn these other to kill these, and they're not doing it, you're going to have inflammation in your body anywhere. I've seen it in the tongue. People have COVID tongue. Yes, that is a thing. Tinnitus, hearing loss, headache. I mean, you name it, you can have it. Hives, sensitive, and high. What it does is it increases your cytokine levels when you're in that not the immune mass overdrive, if you will, because the viral breakdown. Then you go into, then you have allergies to many things, sensitive to foods, irritable bowel syndrome. It's so much to talk about it, and I don't want to be here all day, but I need people, professionals. So whoever's watching this and whoever does watch this, I forward this to them. I need to get the buzz going and talking because we are not focused on virology. We are in a breakdown in our immune system. It is more like, we don't know what it entails. But guess what? I do know because I'm not going to go into details here, but I did, I can't even tell you how much research. And then on my own, digging through the history of research and the access that I have there, and pulled a lot of things together. And the take home thing that I want you to know here is if you're a long hauler, there is hope. Stay tuned because I think we're onto something. I think this is new territory. We don't know. I see a link and it's compelling, so overwhelming amount of evidence that I can't ignore it, right? I can't ignore it. I became a practitioner and opened my own practice to help people. And so that's what I'm doing. And there was obviously some motivation with me being a practitioner. I mean, having long hauler as a practitioner. With that being said, I always joked with all my patients that he's given me a lot of experiences, so I have empathy for my patients. And after COVID hit me and what I went through, I was like, "You're funny." That was a little too close, though. God, that was a little too close. So with that being said, I want you to know that there's hope for any long haulers, and not even, I say long haulers in a broad term because you could be an Epstein-Barr mono long hauler, you could be HSV herpes long hauler, you could be dormant, and it doesn't matter about that. It means that our system as a human body is overloaded with all these viruses, and it doesn't know what to do. It's shutting down, right? Shutting down. So we need to focus as professionals and researchers and pathologists and researchers. I could go on and on and on with all the specialists, but we need to get our head in the game, and we need to get together as professionals and understand and start looking in the virus part of it, virology, because this is a virema, VIRI, whatever, you know what I mean. But this is, we're missing a link here. Um, I think if we fix the immune system and or settle these viruses down, then all of this is going to resolve itself. We need to, what would be great, here's my thought, let's get a, a vaccine that is an antiviral for all of these long viruses that we've known for many, many, many years to cause havoc on many people. That now we're looking at what, third, I heard, seen 30 to 50% of the world's going to have long haul. That's crazy. That's insanity. It's mind blowing. So anyway, um, I just wanted to get the buzz out there. I need to get some people that are professionals in the medical and even want to hear people's stories. I just need information to carry this to the next level, because I'm only one person. I can't do it alone. But I do see a trend. I do see correlation, and I think I'm onto something. And another thing, the last thing that's mostly really, really, really important is that everybody needs, every single person I've checked is low in vitamin D. And I already told you the symptoms. So if you need, conservatively, I mean, do your own research, because I'm not here, I'm not your provider, but at least 6,000 units a day. And I've even had patients that where they take the over the counter D3 and they don't convert to the other one. So they're low in the other one, and it puts them at risk. I would say know your numbers, get a vitamin D level, because that is your defense. That's going to help protect you. So with that, take home, awareness. I'm researching this stuff. Hang in there, guys. I need support. I need somebody to help me unravel all this stuff and move this forward. What else? I don't know. That's it. I mean, there's much more, but I want to keep this very, it's already 22 minutes in, but I wanted to keep it focused into one thing. So stay tuned, and I hope to have more.